The footy show. Oh my goodness. I was freaking out today. I you know what? To be honest, I couldn't even watch the whole game because I had to go to a netball game and do stuff there, so I couldn't watch it. But I was watching on the phone, and I kept on following everything. I was like, I can't look at the results by the numbers. I need to actually see it physically. So I kept watching it, and then I just see like 1-0 after you know we scored, and it was just insane. Um, I think in terms of you know how the whole game played out was well. We'll have a look. So you know Belgium 33 shots, New Zealand 6, 10 shots on target to 2, 45 to 55 to 45% possession. So that whatever. More passes, 522. Passing accuracy, no one cares. Fouls, New Zealand had 10. Um, Belgium had 7. Yellow cards, New Zealand had 2. No red cards. And corners was 8-5. And off that first corner, Leandro Trossard, il a marqué his first World Cup goal. What an absolute way to introduce yourself. You know what? That's expected because he's a Premier League winner. You need to be showing levels above what you've just done the whole season. So there's no excuse. And sadly enough, when before this game, after the draw with Iran, it's crazy. Everyone, like I said in my last video, Belgium fans, we're brutal. Half the country wrote this team off. People saying, "Oh, the end of the golden generation." I don't give a shit about all that. You see, this is what I'm saying. People let one game you shouldn't people didn't you should not let people tell you that one game defines your whole destiny, especially in a World Cup. It's it's insane. I don't believe in that sort of talk. It's crazy. Anything is possible. Cape Verde, they just made it to the round of 32 for the first time in their country's history, and this is their first World Cup. So don't tell me nothing's impossible. Don't ever let and that's another thing in life. Don't ever let people tell you that it's impossible to do something because that is never true. There's always a way. And you know what? La Belgique, on l'a trouvé aujourd'hui. Oh my, let's go. 5-1. I don't care. Wait, it's New Zealand. I don't care. It's the World Cup. Good. Only the best teams qualify for this tournament. New Zealand, the best from the OFC in Oceania. They came to play. They did well against Iran. They tried to do their best against Egypt. And La Belgique, they they played a low block. They literally made it so hard to get through that middle. Their defense was solid, but with a Leandro Trossard goal, just absolutely bearing it. Um, and on the 28th minute, so that gives a big cushion. But then New Zealand had majority of the possession just before half, and then Belgium sat back a bit, which I was fine with. We're trying to coast through the game, see out the first half, and then just we by goal difference at that point, one was not going to be enough because Egypt at that point was already leading against Iran. But then unfortunately Egypt tied, and then we they were tied at one point, and then they lose to Iran 2-1, which is insane. And Iran has been. I'm telling you, Iran was knocking on the door this whole group stage, and I will give them a lot of respect and credit for that. I think they absolutely deserve to finish where they were. I think they were hard done by a few results, but you know what? They're still here, and they're most likely about to sneak into the round of 32 with the third best team played. Whatever that new rule is, it's a bit odd, but it counts. Um, no, and like I said, I've been disappointed with the way that Belgium has been playing for the last two games. On n'a pas marqué contre l'Egypte. It was an on goal. On goal does not count. Um, then we drew against Iran. Like I said, we made their goalie pretty much the man of the match, looking like prime Edwin van der Sar back in Manchester United, the 2008 Champions League final against Chelsea. Man was just saving everything, and we could have put that game away too, but we didn't. And the lack of goals this tournament has been really frustrating, especially for me and a lot of fans who are like-minded who want to see Belgium score. Kevin De Bruyne, Lukaku, they said they were finished. What did they do today? I don't care if it's New Zealand. Hold that nonsense. Get that out of here. Stop. Stop that nonsense. Stop that rubbish. Don't tell me Kevin De Bruyne is finished. The guy just put on a masterclass running that midfield. Lukaku got subbed on 85th minute and then scores a minute later off a cross. And now Lukaku has just become Belgium's all-time goal scorer pour la Belgique. That is not, especially for the tournament success that we've had, absolutely lit it up in 2018. 2022 was shit. The last goal we scored was against Canada, and we had not scored since then. And today we score 5. I'm not. You know what? I'm not going to get ahead of myself. People need to understand. Like I said, you can't base it off of 1 or 2 shit performances and just write these guys off. Like I said in my last video, De Bruyne and Lukaku, if you get these guys firing, they will give you results. De Bruyne, his third goal I think his third World Cup goal, and absolutely buried it in the bottom right corner. And said, oh, he passed it in. I don't give a shit. But to be fair, his goal against Brazil in the quarterfinals before we faced France, oh, mate, absolutely buried that golazo in the bottom left corner. Goalie couldn't even save it. And then Trossard with another goal again. Like I said, you're a Premier League champion. There is no excuses for you. You should be bearing these goals. You need to bring that winning level of mentality, bring that with you, and take it up another level. Parce que quand tu joues pour la Belgique, for your country, you have no excuses. To anybody that ever throws on a national shirt for your country, you have to wear it with pride and leave everything on the field. There is no excuses for that. And then Lukaku, they said he was finished. Le chef, il vient in the 86th minute and just buries the head and just went, oh my goodness, just killed it. And then, then to top it off, Salamakis just, at stoppage time, just put the cherry on top. Put that goal difference up for and against, and let's get this job done. And yes, to everyone else's credit and the critics, they said that Belgium were going to sweep this group. Were absolutely proved wrong. I myself, to be fair, I thought that we'd give these teams a good run. I knew Egypt was not going to be an easy one. Iran, you know what? But they showed up. In New Zealand, I was feeling very anxious the whole week. This whole game put me on edge. That's all I could think about. Like, do I want a repeat of 2022 where we just crash out and not even make it out the group stages? Because if you look at it, Belgium's success in big tournaments like the Euros, UEFA Nations League, it has not been easy. We've crashed out at the quarters, semis in 2018 with great players that we had, and now we've got a younger generation of players coming up, being led by Lukaku and De Bruyne, and now Tielemans, Trossard, and Goy. Now all these younger ones need to carry on the next generation of Belgian football. Yeah, we may be a small country, but we have talent. Doku, il joue pour Manchester City. Pep Guardiola, unlocked. Leandro Trossard, Premier League winner, unlocked. So, tu vois, we play in decent leagues, and we have decent players. It's how they need to bring up their intensity when they're playing. And I didn't see that for the first 2 games. And then today, something just clicked. Trossard, whole 2 goals. Kevin De Bruyne off the... Please. Just looking like vintage Kevin De Bruyne running that midfield, just slotting it inside. And then Lukaku, le chef, just absolutely just went, hold that goal. So, you know what? I'm over the moon today. I'm feeling much more positive heading into the next round of 32. And people are going to tell me that it's not deserved. You guys can go sit down, shut your mouth. Because goals are goals, and you have to win big in this kind of tournament to stay in it, to win it. So you guys can, Talk all your nonsense, all what do you want to do and say, but you know what? You guys can go, oh, hold that. Et pour tous les gens qui ont regardé, who set up to watch this game early AM, those that, are in the US watching it, and of course myself, that, I try to watch it on the phone. Job done for now. We need to look forward, and I think it's the Republic of Korea that we're going to play the next round on Tuesday, 6 a.m. PGT local time here in Port Moresby. And that's going to be an interesting one with Hyun Min Son leading the way, former Spurs player now playing in the MLS. And to all credit, I rate Son. You know, other than Park that played for Manchester United, Son is up there. So again, just to recap, Belgium with 5-1 beating the All Whites, sending New Zealand home in a spliff. Egypt folded in half and got absolutely dismantled by Iran in stoppage time. We move on to the round of 32, and that was full time. And we got a special show coming up very soon. And of course, people, please like, share, subscribe, and do all of that good stuff.